All right. Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a great weekend. Today, we're going to talk about has COVID really changed what homebuyers are looking for in a new home? But before, stuttered a little bit there. Before we get started, if this is your first time watching, you always know we want to start out. If you're watching this live, type L in the comments down below. Type R if you're watching the replay. As well as today, if you're watching this recording, then it won't be, but today is National Mustard Day.
What?
Yep. It's National Mustard Day. I don't know if
Bringing
you saw
you
that.
the good facts here at the Good Home Team.
That's right. The good facts, the good home team here. But it's National Mustard Day. If you saw on one of my posts I did earlier that Frenchie's has released mustard flavored ice cream.
Oh.
Yep.
Have you had it?
I have not. I'm not.
Will you have it?
Probably not. I'm not a mustard fan. I don't really like ice cream all that much. So.
That's the weirder part of this.
Yeah. So, if you would try mustard flavored ice cream, drop a comment down below. Right?
Oh yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
Type mustard in the comments
Yeah,
down below.
mustard if you're for, thumbs down if you're not. But let's get started. So right now, what we're talking about, has COVID truly changed what home buyers are looking for? We've read reports, right? There's been studies out there that said, home buyers would definitely want to, have more outdoor space for exercise and actually planting a garden.
Yeah.
We've seen people. We know Nick Krim. I know Nick Krim just had lunch and he had yogurt today, so I don't think he's having mustard.
Chauncey made the puke face.
Yep. But we know that they're wanting, a better home office because a lot more people are working from home.
Right.
So what are you seeing? You're actually out there. Your buyer, the number of buyers you're working with is gone back up, picking steam after your busy July that you had. So are you truly seeing a change in home buyer preference right now?
100%, a total change. And I know all of the memes came out when shelter in place was really heavy, saying, "Can you imagine yourself quarantined in this home?" And the reality is, it's real. Like, I think there's a newfound value for your home, whereas maybe in the past that has switched to traveling or experiences or something. And then the reality that we all just faced of being at home more really has shifted perspective on how someone values their home and what they want in it. So a lot of my clients, that's one of the reasons that we're moving, is they're realizing that they need more space for people to work at home. I have a lot of people who are sitting here saying, okay, so I'm going to need this work at home, like a study here. I have other family living with me. They're going to need their own space. They're going to need their own work from home space. I want a gym. I want to be able to have workout equipment at home. The number one change I think I've seen is a lot of people are considering pools now. And then a lot of people, the absolute number one is more space, more land for their kids to run around on, to be free, to have a little bit more space between your neighbors, maybe less restrictions within an HOA, and just giving them that space to sprawl out.
So something that I'm going to ask you that you probably don't, you may have not thought about too much. Is this temporary, right? Is this something that we see a kind of forever change on? Just because, one, we've now experienced once, could we experience it again? Or is this something that is a fad with, look, Heather and I went out, we looked at a house over the weekend. It has a pool, doesn't have as much land, but it's in a certain neighborhood that we're interested in. And then, of course, we look at the office. Is the office, the one that I want is the office separate from kind of the living area? That way it's more quiet and secluded.
Yeah.
Not necessarily two, because it's large, and if Heather works from home, we can both be in there. But I mean, I will tell you, with our preferences, we're looking for more space, just like that.
Yeah.
One, so the kids can get there, do their own thing.
Right.
Right. Because that's definitely, we're on top of, most people are on top of each other. And then if you're at home all the time, you're just like, man, I need to feel like I can get away. I can escape in my own house.
Yeah.
Right. So do you think that's temporary? Do you think that we may just continue to see that trend? Is this something that buyers next year should be continuing to look for? And as a homeowner, if you're looking at building and you're looking at that potential resale value, right, in the coming years, should they be looking at making a floor plan that's perfect for this?
That's a good question. You're kind of asking me to have a crystal ball here. which I don't. I wouldn't be shocked if this is temporary, but by temporary, I still think it could be a few years of this being a trend.
Yep.
Until something else happens that puts something else of more value on top of this. But I can't I wouldn't be surprised if builders started to do that in the meantime. And that's something that may still always be valued, because the people of this generation who are adults who have lived through this are probably, we're going to be those crazy old people who always have masks and gloves and hand sanitizer on hands, and our grandkids are going to ask us why, and we're going to prioritize these types of features in our homes more. So that may not be something that the younger generations, but I have a feeling that while this may be temporary for a few years, it's going to be on the minds of these generations for longer than that.
So that was the answer I was looking for, right? Because here's what's going to end up happening, more than likely, without having that crystal ball, is more and more companies are going to continue to allow from working from home. Right? So with that is we're going to need that home office space, right? Something else to consider as more and more people are working from home and we're seeing the complaints is, are you in an area that has high-speed internet connection?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's a number one question that people ask me, and I'm helping people get that farmland that I just was helping a client. We looked at 28 acres. It's got its own private lake. It's in a very small town, but the home itself offers everything that they need, and that was the thing that took us days to figure out, is this internet going to be enough for 2 people to work from home, and then for kids and family to stream internet, Netflix, all of these different things.
Right. So that is something that a lot of people need to start, thinking about, because we're still new into this, right? It's still something that we just automatically assume that every area that we're going to go buy in has good internet and strong internet connection, and that's not the case, right? My brother and I, as a family, we bought a lake house, and great neighborhood, great community, great area. Well, the internet connection is like from actually worse than the 90s, right? It's next to none. It's worse than dial-up, and so we.
And you didn't think to check that before?
No, because I assumed that because of the area, because of the price that we were paying, that I'm like, oh, for this price, there should be good internet out here. And so that's something that somebody should be thinking about. The number one question actually that people should be looking at too, good internet connection. Then does the floor plan and the future floor plan meet our needs?
Yeah.
Right? And I do think, again, working from home, we will continue to see this for the next.
Well, we're working from home, and then everything else people want to enjoy in their home. Like I said, so many people are asking about, do I then have a space for a home gym? And we just had to think about everything that was taken away from us.
Yep.
That if you don't have yourself, then you were probably completely cut off from.
Yeah.
So, yes, for now, that's absolutely a trend.
Again, I'm going to go back to these home gyms, the Pelotons. There's the mirror thing. I was going to say, the mirror thing. This all now runs on streaming and internet.
Yep.
To get your workouts in.
Yep.
Right. I'm seeing a lot of people in their Instagram stories and their Facebook stories that they're building out their home gym in the garages, right? And so they're maybe a 3 or 4 car garage is an option.
Yep,
now.
I was gonna say garage space too, and that's one of the reasons for sure.
So this is all something that you should be thinking about, and that we are starting to see from buyer these buyer needs and wants lists.
Yeah.
And as a homeowner, if you're going to build or if you're going to buy, again, this is something for future resale to think about.
It is. I'm looking at buying my own home. I have been for a while, but I'm always looking at it, and now I'm like, so you need your room, you need a guest room, I want an office, and I want a gym area as well, and I want a pool, and I'm like,
yeah.
As a single person, I'm still sitting here looking and wanting all of that.
Yeah. So as you're watching this, comment whether you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, comment about, has anything changed in what you would want in your new home, right? Because again, we've had a lot of time to think about this.
Yeah.
All those memes about could you see yourself quarantined?
It was annoying at first, and then I realized the truth behind it and the value people are going to start putting on their homes, which makes sense because it's also such a good investment for them, a good place for their money, and
So, what has changed since quarantine? What do you want in your new house? What is something that you thought you wanted that you don't?
Yeah.
Right?
Let us know in the comments. I want to actually hear from people who are watching this what they've realized with their home situation during quarantine.
Yeah. Before, I thought I was like, cool, I don't really want a pool. I have one, I don't want it. But because of this whole ordeal, I'm back on board with wanting and to keep a pool around. So that is something that that
Yeah,
I'm
because
cool
even
with
if your
staying.
HOA provided one, those were closed down. So even though you pay for it,
Yep.
you didn't get access to it.
Absolutely, that's a good point. So, if you are thinking about needing to sell your home, or if you're thinking about buying, it's a great time in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to buy or sell. Right now, inventory levels as a seller is at historic lows. We're running, last I checked, was running around 2.1 months of inventory.
Yeah.
What that means to you as a seller, there's not a lot of homes on the market. So that we're still seeing that buyer demand. So if you price your home properly, price it home, present it correctly. So it's priced, it's presented correctly, it's in good condition, or we're pricing it in the current condition, it will sell, and it should sell fairly quickly, right? And
When
so
price, location, and condition match, it's always a seller's market.
100%. And then if you're a buyer, it's a great time as a buyer to buy a home because interest rates, I call it at stupid lows, right? Because we're not going to see it. That's where the opportunity is in this real estate market, is as a buyer to take advantage of these low rates. If you have great credit, we're seeing people in the 2.75% mortgage interest rate range.
Well, and then what's great is if you're someone who needs a little bit of down payment assistance, while I'm not a mortgage lender, I'm seeing, those programs are still available to our clients. And then when those used to be tied to astronomically high interest rates, it's now what people who weren't needing those types of assistance or funds were getting 2 years ago, which means it's still a pretty phenomenal rate.
Yep.
So
Last question. Again, it's National Mustard Day. Would you eat mustard flavored ice cream?
I would try it. I would have a bite, but I don't think I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah. I think in the article, Alex had read in the article and posted in a comment that it's supposed to taste like pretzel, like a pretzel flavor with mustard on it. So, Brian Murray, he's with us here at the Good Home Team, just said that Mortgage Mike just locked up a client at 2.25%. That's nuts.
That's insane.
So if you're looking for, first off, you're looking for a great mortgage loan officer here in Texas.
Mortgage Mike's your guy.
Mortgage Mike, Michael DeBacker, with the core team at USA Mortgage. Reach out to him. You can find him. See what he can do. It's a great time to refinance. If you're going to stay in that home, you're not looking to sell, go ahead and refinance.
I just had a conversation with clients about that.
Yep. So, and again, the biggest question, would you eat mustard flavored ice cream?
The biggest question of the day.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
Facebook, Instagram, Elizabeth Austin.
Go to elizabethaustin.work.
Yes.
So elizabethaustin.work. We'll go ahead and post in the comments, and then we'll see you on the next video. Have a great week.